What's up, gamers? This is NGG here with another discussions video. I want to talk about beating your games, right? So, if you guys know, I love beating my games, but beating your games means a lot of things to a lot of different people. And so, I wanted to talk about all the ways everybody considers beating a game, and I want to talk about some of the ways I feel a game is beat, and wanted to talk more about what we think about in terms of beating your games, what constitutes for beating your game, and stuff like that. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you sub below, and let's get into it. So let's first start with like the JRPG genre for me. So like JRPGs are like my bread and butter when it comes to solo playing. And usually they're very like cut and dry. They don't have too many different ways to beat the game. Usually once you roll credits, there's not post-game content and then more credits. But some games do have that, and I'll get into those games. So like usually, so let's talk about this game right here. So Tales of Vesperia was a game I beat a while back, and once I rolled credits, this game was a beat game. And I think like even after you beat the game, if you want to go back in, it takes you to right before you beat the boss of the game. So there's no post content in that game. But if we take a JRPG like Pokemon, for example, there's post game content, so you can beat the Elite Four is usually what the game is called as beat, but there's post game content in these games. So like you beat it once and then you can beat it again. And for me, the second beat in these kind of games is what I consider beat. Yeah, I rolled credits on the first one, but the game still has more to offer. So I would keep playing until I beat the post-game content and rolled credits for a second time. Now, and more JRPGs, and this is now a different kind of JRPG genre, but some JRPGs do that, and this is Fire Emblem Three Houses. Now, you have three houses in this game, and a secret route. So I won't tell you about the secret route, so it's just a spoiler. But so I already beat this game twice, and once with Edelgard, and then the secret route as well. Now, most people would consider this game completely beat, and yes, I did beat it. I did roll credits. I did see the end of Edelgard's route, but I didn't do Dimitri's or I forget his name, Golden Deer. So I want to go back and beat this game to get to the other two routes. So like for me, yes, this game is beat, but it's not beat like it's beat, but it's not beat because I haven't done the other two routes. Now if it's DLC and stuff that's not on the cart, I kind of don't like. Sometimes I don't get the DLC, so I don't consider that part of like beating the game, like finishing up the game. Whereas like this has two other routes that I would consider, yes, I'm gonna go back and beat this game and try to finish up the other two paths that I haven't beat. So I do want to do that eventually. But so this game is a beat game, yes, but it's not a complete game. And I don't 100% my games, guys. I don't have to look for everything, every item, every thing in the game. I just want to, like, if it has three paths, which this one does, I want to beat each path. Now, a game like this, which is also a JRPG, but it's a collection. Now, if you beat one game in the collection, do you consider it beat? Like, I'm working down my way off the collection. I've beat so far 1 through 4. I beat 6 way back when, but I'm gonna play it again on the Switch. But like, if you beat one game in this game, is that a beat game for you? For me, I have to beat every game in the collection for the collection to be a beat game. So yes, I can beat each game in like I can beat one game and it's technically the game itself is a beat game, but the collection, because it's a collection, is not a beat game for me. So like that's why right now I'm like on the collection grind on the Final Fantasy kick. I am, like I said, I'm still playing my Final Fantasy adventure, and I beat 1 through 4 on stream with you guys. If you want to check those streams out, they're gonna be listed on my homepage of my main channel, or if you're subscribed to my streaming only channel and you want to catch a live stream of those, that's where I'll be streaming it usually every Sunday morning, or early afternoon, late morning, early afternoon. But yeah, so for me, like, this collection is not beat until I beat every game in the collection. Now, I've beat Final Fantasy 6 before, so like, if I beat 5, would I consider this collection beat even though I didn't beat 6 on here? Yes, because I already beat one of the games in here once a long time ago. I beat it actually a couple of times on a couple of different consoles. So I will consider this collection beat once I beat 5, even though I didn't play 6 on it. I'm gonna play 6 on it, but it'll technically be a beat collection because I beat every game in the collection. So that's what I consider beat for collections. Like right now, I'm also working on the Cowabunga collection. And now this one has a bunch of the games that are almost exactly the same. And I have beat almost every game in this collection that are almost exactly the same. I was working on the last game that I needed to beat was Ninja Turtles 1, and for some reason I can't get my save file. I think I corrupted my save file, so I don't know that I'm gonna beat I beat most of the games in this collection. I'm still missing the OG Ninja Turtles, which I hear is the hardest one to beat. And I was at the end, guys, when I corrupted my data recently, because I was like, oh, let me just beat this game so I can go back to my collection and finally talk about the Cowabunga collection. And then I think I corrupted my save for the first one. So for me, I feel like collections aren't beat until you personally beat every game in the collection. And like I said, I beat almost every game. I'm just missing one. And so for me, a couple of the games in there are beat, but the collection itself is not beat. And that's what I'm talking about when I talk about games like that. Now, let's shift over from those kind of games, and we'll talk about other kinds of games that I play that are hard for me to consider beat. So like, all right, let's take visual novels for example. This is Cafe Enchanté, and visual novels, especially in the Tomy era, which this is another Tomy, and you have like, I think up to 4 or 5 bachelors that you can romance, and each bachelor comes with, I believe in this one there are 2 paths. Pio Fiore, each bachelor came with 3 paths. So yeah, so if you were playing Pio Fiore, you would have to play each bachelor 3 times to get the good, the bad, and the best ending, where I believe as Cafe Enchanté there's only a good and a bad ending. So like, now if you play visual novels, if you're like me, do you play visual novels? Do you consider it beat when you run through one route no matter which one you got? Because like for me, I don't consider these games beat until I beat every route in every possible way. So like Cafe Enchanté, for example, I beat every route in the good, bad, and I don't know if it has a best ending. I know Pio Fiore did. And in Pio Fiore, same thing. I beat each route in the good, bad, and the best ending. So, I didn't consider these games beat until I beat every route. Like, yes, I beat a route, but I go back and then beat the games again to see the bad endings, to see the okay endings, and to see the best ending. So what I do is I organically play the game and then get an ending, and then I'll go back in the same character line and get the other 2 endings. So now, would you consider that beat when you did one character, or are you like me and want to beat every character in every possible route to consider it a beat game? Now, like I said, I usually don't 100% complete the games, but I feel like in visual novels, you want to know everything that could have possibly happened to your characters. And then they come out with Fandis, which I have for the Pio Fiore. And the Pio Fiore, this one thankfully only has 2 routes, a good and a bad ending. In Anaphantis, if you don't know, is like the second story of the first game. So like Pio Fiore Faded Memories is the first game, and then Pio Fiore Episado 1926 is like the second book. You can only play the second book if you've played the first one. And now this one thankfully only has 2 endings per love interest. And right now I've done 2 love interests. I'm on my 3rd, and that's why it takes me so long to read these visual novels, because I'm not only wanting to read the visual novels in terms of, all right, this is what this character, I want to know the good and the bad endings for every visual novel. And there are other games that other games that I feel like a lot of people will not beat, right? I know I'm in the minority with this one. So like, let's take for example Overcooked 2. So Overcooked 2 had a game where it actually included 1 and 2 in the cart, but 1 was not cross play. So I ended up getting Overcooked All You Can Eat. And now in Overcooked All You Can Eat, you start off and you play each route, each little mini game, and you can get whatever star. Me and my sister, once we beat the game once, then it unlocks the bonus star that you can get in each level. And so we unlocked every star, beat the boss, and then we ran through it again and beat each level. And I think we did this with Monaco too. Beat each level at 5 stars. So with this one, I 100% completed the game. Would you beat the game like multiple times to get all the stars? I mean, I know some people do that in platforming games. I don't. I will tell you, in platforming games, I do not 100% my games. I will just get up to the credits, and I'm not going back and 100%ing the game. Usually I won't know if there's anything afterwards, because I don't go back and 100% the games, just because platformers are hard for me. They're very hard for me, and so beating them is accomplishment enough for me. I know for other people, they love platformers, but for me it's super hard, and so I usually consider a platformer beat once I roll the credits. Yeah, so that's literally all I wanted to talk to you guys about. I mean, I've had like I don't know what everybody considers beat. I know, like I said, for different genres, I have different things that I consider beat. You know, I played also Amber, which is also another multiplayer game in the same kind of vein as Overcooked, but this one was so hard. I did not go back into every board and get everything and do everything there was to do. I just played until I beat the boss, and then I was like, yep, this one's done. So like, if it's too hard, will you not go back like I did and just beat it and then call it a day? Will you keep trying till you 100%? Like, what do you consider beat? Let me know in the comments below. I want to start a discussion about what people consider beat games. Will you drop a game, and even if you just got to the boss, consider that beat? Like I did that with Final Fantasy X. I was at the boss in my PlayStation 2, and then I didn't beat the boss, and then in my Switch version I came back and beat the played through and beat the boss. So that's all I wanted to talk about. If you haven't subscribed by now and you've gotten through the end, please hit that sub button and that like if you are enjoying this conversation. Don't forget to use that hashtag #BeatYourGames when you beat your games. And thanks for watching, guys. Happy gaming. Bye.